Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching my videos. This captures the idea of a tense standoff where both combo decks are poised to win but must navigate each other's threats and strategies. In the sideboard analysis segment, we delve deeper into the use of draw sources. Be sure to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. The link to the deck list explanation video is in the description below. Please take a look if you're interested. I'll keep this hand since it seems we can set up our hand with the draw sources. I'm going to search for a land. I wanted to stack Gia's Will Dark Ritual Island for the draw, but I made a mistake. An unsettling atmosphere starts to fill the air suddenly. I wanted to make it look like I was using RUG Delver's draw spells to search for a clock, but my opponent saw through it. Since they fortunately stalled, I'll take a peek at their hand. Since it seems we still have some leeway, I'll take out Surgical Extraction and aim for a combo through the graveyard. I'll play it preemptively before it gets bounced by Echo of Aeons. The cost for gamble is Lion's Eye Diamond. Since I might lose on the next turn, I'll use Past in Flames to try to remove their combo pieces. I'll save Cabal Ritual for when I use Past in Flames. Since our combo relies on draw sources, we have a slight advantage. I'm going to search for a tutor. I stacked Lotus Petal Tendrils of Agony in that order. I'm going all in from here. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. I'll generate blue mana from Lion's Eye Diamond to use as fodder for the draw source. I'll go for the combo through the graveyard. I'll accelerate mana while also building up the storm count. The storm count is high enough, so I'll cast Tendrils of Agony. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. Before discussing the sideboard, I'd like to talk about the playstyle of Epic Gamble. Rite of Flame, Mox Opal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Chrome Mox, and Lotus Petal are used to generate mana and increase the storm count. Then, depending on the situation, back it up with Jeska's Wool or Molten Duplication. Replenish the spent resources in your hand with Echo of Aeons or Reforge the Soul. Build up mana and storm count by looping through these sequences. Once you've accumulated enough mana and storm count, win with Burning Wish. Depending on the win condition from Burning Wish, Veil of Summer might not be effective, so I'll reduce its count. Since the timing for counters is clear, I'll include Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm might end up in your hand when the opponent redraws 7 cards from Echo of Aeons or Reforge the Soul, so, instead of tapping out just because you have a draw source in hand, leaving an island untapped can sometimes disrupt their plans by chance. The opponent's deck is straightforward, so they might not have sideboarded against our countermeasures. However, these cards are easy to include, so it's better to keep them in mind. As a basic combo route, it's ideal to choose the ad nauseam route to ignore the opponent's countermeasures. Since the opponent isn't using a mana denial strategy, the value of basic lands decreases, so I'll side them out. Though Tormod's Crypt may not be exceptionally strong, it's better than basic lands, so I'll include it. Since this video was recorded before the release of Modern Horizons 3, I would also like to discuss some predictions about its impact. I plan to include Vexing Bauble, so I'll probably swap out Tormod's Crypt for cards like Nihil Spellbomb. The value of Veil of Summer increases because it can nullify Vexing Bauble. It can also shut down Tendrils of Agony, one of the opponent's win conditions. Of course, the opponent will likely anticipate this, but think of it as an additional countermeasure. Previously, I was siding out Veil of Summer, but in this case, since its value increases, I won't side it out. Instead, I'll reduce the number of cards likely to be collateral damage from the opponent's graveyard hate. I think this time we're using various draw sources. So, I'd like to delve deeper into how to use the draw sources. First, the conclusion. I will explain step by step. The first thing to keep in mind when casting draw sources is judging the distance with the opponent. The second is to bait them and then cast your spell. Play an island. Cast Brainstorm or Ponder. Then, shuffle with a fetch land. I don't think anyone would disagree that this method is effective. First, I'll explain the concept of judging the distance, whether the opponent is playing a Delver deck or Reanimator. The way you judge the distance will differ significantly depending on whether the opponent is playing a Chalice deck. I think everyone naturally gauges the distance from the opponent and progresses the game based on the limited information available in the early turns. For example, if they play a Volcanic Island and cast Ponder, you would likely determine that the opponent is probably playing a Delver deck. In a Legacy environment where the meta changes slowly, you can efficiently predict the opponent's deck based on their early moves. Next, regarding the second point, bait them and then cast your spell. If they play an island on turn 1 and cast Brainstorm right away, we can draw 3 cards. Next, if they play an island on turn 1 and pass the turn, then cast Brainstorm from the island they played earlier. Then play a fetch land and shuffle, combining your turn's draw with the 3 cards drawn from Brainstorm. You can draw a total of 4 cards, increasing the number of cards you see and the chances of finding the card you need. Therefore, you can see that the latter pattern is more efficient. If the opponent is playing a Delver deck, the game won't end suddenly, so with the latter pattern, it's clear that the second option is better. For the Chalice deck, however, if I play an island and pass the turn, and my opponent starts with an Ancient Tomb into Chalice of the Void, it goes like this. Since I'm under pressure to find an answer, I need to act quickly and cast Brainstorm off the island. Next, imagine facing a deck like Reanimator where we have little time to respond. Let's break it down into 2 cases. The first case is when my hand is weak and I need to quickly cycle through my cards. Let's say my hand contains Brainstorm, Ponder, Island, 2 Lotus Petals, and Cabal Ritual. In this situation, I'll play an island. I'll cast Brainstorm, and let's say I reveal Dark Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, and a fetch land. I'll play the fetch land, use it to search for a land, then cast Ponder. This efficiently cycles through my hand. Even if I didn't reveal a fetch land from the earlier Brainstorm, I can play Underground Sea. I can still cast Ponder from the Underground Sea, allowing me to shuffle if needed. The second case is when my hand is strong, and I need to find one specific card. Let's say my hand contains Brainstorm, Ponder, Island, Dark Ritual, Duress, and Lion's Eye Diamond. The card I need right now is Infernal Tutor. I'll play an island. Casting Ponder allows me to see 4 cards. Even if I don't find it, I can shuffle with Ponder, then cast Brainstorm, giving me a total of 7 cards to find what I need. Finally, here's a quick tip. Let's say I have 2 islands in play and my hand contains Ponder, Brainstorm, and 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds. I don't have access to black mana in this situation. First, I'll cast Brainstorm from an island, and put Ad Nauseam on top of my library. I'll then cast Lion's Eye Diamond. I'll cast Ponder from the island. While it's on the stack, I'll activate Lion's Eye Diamond, generating black mana. Then, I'll cast Ad Nauseam. We went off on a bit of a tangent there, but now let's get back to the main topic. I'll mulligan to get a fast hand. I think the game will be decided before I need a second land, so I'll put Tropical Island on the bottom. Some might question keeping this hand, but depending on your perspective, it's a potential turn 1 kill hand. With a double mulligan, you choose 5 cards to keep from the 7 you draw. With this hand, a 1 mana or higher mana Accelerator and Infernal Tutor are enough for a potential turn 1 kill. Drawing 1 card on my turn and seeing 3 more with Brainstorm is effectively like drawing 4 cards. Since I've already drawn mana Acceleration, the only card I still need is Infernal Tutor. At this point, casting Brainstorm without a plan is a complete mistake. If I use Ponder instead, I can see 4 cards. In case I find Infernal Tutor among the top 3 cards, I'll activate Lion's Eye Diamond. The reason for generating blue mana is that a draw spell might appear off the brainstorm, allowing me to chain draws. Since I drew Beseech the Mirror, I'll proceed with my combo. I'll use the graveyard to execute the combo. I'll accelerate my mana and build storm count. Simultaneously, with enough storm count built up, I'll cast Tendrils of Agony. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the frequent play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. This has been Antya.